going?
Good, man. What's up?
Your overview on this game, Sam, coming up against a really, really good opponent in a tough place to play.
Yeah, I mean, I think I saw the stat there, like 92% win in the last 10 years at home at night games. So, it's going to be an electric environment. I've heard about playing at Utah. My whole family's out there, so it's going to be a fun time.
Sam, just can you spraying water all around practice today, kind of getting you guys ready for the conditions? I guess, how are you kind of feeling about that and kind of using that as preparation?
Yeah, I think it says like 50% chance of rain for a few hours, so nothing I'm not used to. Grew up in Oregon, used to the rain, so I'll be ready for it.
Sam, I think Troy Aikman famously basically said he couldn't throw a wet ball. Can you throw a wet ball? Does it feel different to you, or what are the differences?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's different. I do change up a couple things, kind of like to keep that my secret. But, I grew up in Oregon, like I said, one of the rainiest states, so throwing in that all off season and, even during the season, nothing I'm not used to.
Sam, what's your take on the red zone situation, and what do you feel be the key factors to, finish drives with touchdowns instead of field goals?
Yeah, a couple protection errors. We just got to be more disciplined in our route running, and, I got to fit certain balls. And kind of take better window chances, high in the back, low in the front, and just really try to force some windows. I feel like I'm trying to scramble a little bit too much in those situations, so I'll take that on myself. But, it's been an emphasis, and we've gone about it in the right way, so I'm pretty excited about our plan.
What do you see about Utah's defensive style, and what do you have to be aware of there?
It's been the same, for the last 20 years. They're a really tough physical team. They're really good at what they do, play a lot of man. They have their oddities off that, bringing their smack to the field, playing two trap, playing their 3 deep, 2 under, and then getting into the third down stuff. They do a good job. Last year they got me on a cover zero look when, they played the post safety on the back, so we'll be ready for stuff like that.
Sam, Coach was saying that since Big 12 play started that you've really settled into the game.
Yeah, it's just same thing as last year, just week by week getting better, getting more comfortable within the plan, trusting my guys, and it makes us play a lot better, and kind of just got the ball into my playmakers' hands, forced a little bit more underneath stuff, and kind of opened up the whole offense.
Sam, Kenny talked about how you guys are going to be getting Jordan Moss back this week. How much do you think his presence opens up the offense?
Yeah, he's a good player. He just has to, kind of get back into things. He's been out for a little bit, so I'm excited to see what he can do.
You talked about the red zone offense. How much do you think he helps elevate that?
Come in and make some plays. So he's kind of just got to get dialed into the game plan, and he's got to start showing up in practice and making some plays before game day happens.
Sam, there's obviously a lot of Heisman talk before the season. What's the last time you thought about that?
Early on in the season, for sure. I kind of tried to tailor off on that. I wasn't playing as well, and it brought some stress. And I kind of remembered, I'm not doing this for the accolades and all those things. Just the talk kind of puts you in that mindset. So I got out of that and just started, coming out here and enjoying the day, the beautiful weather out here, and being around my team. So I'm just blessed to be in the situation I am.
Sam, when a team can run the football and stop the run, whether it's college or pro, they generally go deep into the season. Your team checks the boxes in both areas. Does that really encourage you as you move forward to the second half of the season about your team?
Yeah, I'm not looking at, postseason play right now. It's just week to week. But, we got some really good players on the offense and defense side, within the front seven. So something that, we try to establish is a run game and just, being a tough and physical team and playing harder than other people. So we got to keep that going.
Do you have questions? Did you have conversations with anybody in particular to help you kind of recenter yourself on what you wanted to be focused on?
Yeah, a bunch of people in my life that impact me. Coaches, I like to talk to Coach Roy. He's been around a lot of people, and he's a pretty intense person like me. Obviously my brother, my guy Sean. People who have impacted my life like that.
What was that like, just going through that?
Beneficial.
Therapeutic?
Yeah.
Last year against Utah, suffering that rib injury, how did that kind of serve as a turning point for you in the season, help get you guys where you were?
Honestly, I started playing better because I started, playing more quarterback and less playmaker, and started making plays when they needed to be made rather than forcing. And honestly, I had a really good day of practice today. Just trying to sit in the pocket and play more of that style. So I'm just trying to get back to that, and it's really just being comfortable as the season goes on. So I'm just trying to, approach the game like that.
Do you feel like the performance against TCU, the best statistical performance of the year? Do you think that could be a turning point for you from here on out?
Yeah, I didn't even look at the stats or anything, but, it just felt the best, and I watched the tape and I graded myself the best. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not looking at the stats. You could have a couple passes that go for a lot more yards in one game than another, but you know how well you played overall, know how well you saw the game and delivered the ball and, manage the clock and everything like that. So I do feel like it was my best game.
How tough is it when you always want to make the best play, but sometimes you just take a good solid play?
Yeah, it's just that playmaker in you, but you got to kind of suppress that a little bit to play within the game. And early in the season, honestly, the Heisman talk and, we're ranked this and supposed to do that was kind of just putting too much. I was just pressing too much, so just kind of chilled back a little bit on that. Started playing the game to, do the right thing every single play and, kind of elevate our whole team.
Sam, Jared finally got his big catch a couple weeks ago. How good was it to get him involved in? What are you looking forward to when working with him the rest of the season?
Yeah, I mean, he puts his head down every single day. That's my guy. He's got a great attitude, and he can really roll. So it was good to see him get going. We connected on a bunch throughout fall camp, so that's just going to be a continued progress throughout the season.
You guys good? One more?
Yep. Sam, what's your approach with a bye week, making sure that you're getting fresh, but also have the right mentality and ready to hit the ground running for Utah?
I think going into the practices, you kind of just focus in on what you need to do. What are my tells? Am I touching my towel before a pass? Where am I not taking my checkdowns? What am I not seeing as well? So you kind of focus on those things. Is my footwork in the pocket? What's my depth touch on play action, stuff like that. And then you like to take some time off and just kind of take some time to yourself and spend some time with people you really care about.
Thanks, Sam.
Thanks, Sam.
Thanks, Sam.
Insightful, man.
Coach Ward will be here.